outside. Classic Empire head-to-head down to the line. Cloud Computing wins the Preakness.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and let's take a look at the field for Friday's Spa Baby race. It is race number 6, kicking off the 50-cent late pick 5. It is a 5.5 furlong turf sprint, maiden special 2-year-olds. We have a filly in here, trained by Wesley Ward, the number 2 Top Gun Girl. As we've said so many times, Nicole, on Keeneland Babies, Spa Babies, this time of year, the fillies can certainly step with the boys.
Absolutely. I think at this time of year, when you still have so many first-time starters facing each other and the similar experience factor there, I think the fillies can step with the boys, particularly when you're at shorter distances such as this. I really don't consider it, sort of noteworthy for a filly to be in against the boys until we start getting to the fall and some of these stakes events, particularly the ones at longer distances.
We have a KV Racing Stable owned coupled entry. So we'll take this from program number order, beginning with the number 1, No Mi Culpa. This one is trained by Rudy Rodriguez, only a $3,000 weanling, but by Breeders' Cup Classic winner Blame, who is a good turf stallion. And when you look at the bottom of this pedigree, a lot of precocity, a lot of sprintability. This one has some experience and moves from dirt to turf.
Yeah, and she was 5th in the off-the-turf debut at Belmont, so the turf intent was there. Showed some good foot to stalk the pace early before fading. Came back and has worked sharply at Saratoga. I really like to see that in a young horse when they come out of their debut and they work well, and it looks like the light bulb has gone on. Interesting mix in this pedigree. Blame, who's more of a stamina influence, and a sneaky good turf sire over all of that dirt speed.
Trainer Wesley Ward has 2 entered in here, including the filly that drew the rail, the number 2 Top Gun Girl. This one is by Air Force Blue, 14% winners with juvenile debut runners. He was a good turf runner in his day, a $57,000 buyback as a yearling, and a nice mixture of speed and turfability in this pedigree.
Yeah, and this is now the second crop for Air Force Blue, a European champion juvenile by Warfront. He's been a versatile stallion who's done very well with both his first and second crops with first-time starters, and the dam herself a winner on turf in her native France.
The number 3 American Experiment is entered main track only, so we'll move on to the number 4 Slipstream. This is a son of More Than Ready, sold for $170,000 as a yearling, and as you can see, precocity and speed on the female side of this pedigree. Slipstream, I thought, ran okay in his career debut. To me, it was a learning experience. He was sort of buried down inside in mid-pack. He got to the outside in the stretch, and he ran on a little bit. I'm not sure about the field he was facing, but I thought it was a productive debut that he could build off of.
I definitely think he can build off that. He wound up buried toward the inside a little because he brushed the gate a little bit, breaking. Actually going slightly shorter here. We'll certainly need to put that experience to use and break better here in order to contend going in this turf sprint.
The number 5 is Pika. This is a son of Speightstown going out for trainer Graham Motion, a $100,000 yearling purchase. The dam is a full sister to Salto, who is a juvenile grade 1 stakes-placed miler on the turf. The dam's a half-to-silent name, who is good on turf and dirt. Versatile pedigree. Motion has really put a lot of workouts and furlongs into this colt. I'm expecting a good effort with Jose Ortiz aboard.
I think we'll see a good effort, but I don't typically think of Graham Motion's barn as sending out prominent turf sprinters. I think this one might need the experience, and looking at all of that class and stamina on the bottom side of the pedigree, I'm wondering if we'll see this one in some turf or synthetic stakes down the road at Saratoga, at Woodbine, going a bit longer on the lawn. I really think this is an interesting colt.
The 6 Street and Sour is up next, and this one is a son of Kentucky Derby winner Street Sense, a $60,000 May 2-year-old in training purchase after breezing a furlong in 10 3/5 seconds. The dam is a half-sister to Harissa, whom I believe won the Barbara Fritchie, and she's also a half to Seattle Queen, who is a solid turf sprinter. So a nice mixture in this pedigree, stamina over speed.
Yeah, and I think really a mixture of surfaces on and distances on both sides. Street Sense, who can get them going short or going long, over a Lemon Drop Kid Mare, a versatile stallion, and you see the versatility in the Dams family. It would be interesting to see if Joe Sharp and Luis Saez can team up at a little bit of a price here.
Calumet Farm Homebred is up next. That's the number 7 Tokamak by first crop stallion Bala Bali, a really nice turf horse in his day, a South American import. Tell us a little bit about Bala Bali.
Man, Bala Bali, just a tough as nails horse, was a champion down in Brazil. I believe he won the Brazilian Triple Crown, and then was a multiple Grade 1 winning miler in California, overcoming some physical ailments to do so. This is first crop. Obviously expect his horses to run on turf. I would prefer this one actually going bit longer, although you do see that classy speed in the female family. The second dam, a Grade 1 winning sprinter, broke a little slowly in the debut, and now putting blinkers on. I think a lot to like to move forward off that debut.
I agree. That was a really solid debut. You mentioned this one didn't break very well, showed a little agility to get into the race while saving ground and racing in behind horses early. Good effort. I would expect a nice performance. Jack Sisterson is a very underrated and very capable trainer. The 8 is Fan the Fire. This is a first-time starter by Hard Spun, trained by Michael Maker. It seems that the Maker 2-year-olds are firing at this meet. Fan the Fire sold for $70,000 as a March 2-year-old after merely galloping at the sale. Look at this nice pedigree. The Damsa have to Space Mountain, a stakes-winning turf rider. The Damsa have to ride on Curlin, who placed in the Preakness and was a little bit better, I thought, around one turn. And then you go back in this family, and you've got Magical Ride and all of those good sprint horses. Really intriguing pedigree. Intriguing that they're starting her on turf.
I think so as well. I think, Hard Spun can sire a good turf horse. Broodmare sire Curlin is a multi-purpose horse from that Smart Strike sire line. It's a really interesting pedigree to me because, at first glance, you see Hard Spun over Curlin and you would think, well, I would certainly like this horse going longer. But then you talked about the speed in the female family. I agree with you that close relation Ride on Curlin was perhaps better around one turn. He was a very precocious 2-year-old, and good horses like Victory Ride, a very fast horse in the family. I'll be interested to see what this horse has sort of inherited.
Let's watch the career debut from the number 9. Castle Leoch, this one trained by Wesley Ward, a son of American Pharaoh, would bet down to 3-5 for his debut at Gulfstream, made a 3-wide sweeping bid into the stretch, took over the lead, a little bit late to change leads, ends up a solid second. This is a performance that I think might be good enough to win this race if these first-time starters are not ready, and Wesley has them ready to fire always as a 2-year-old.
Yeah, and perhaps this horse will take a step forward from the first start to the second, as we have seen some of Wesley Ward's juveniles do over the years. Since that debut in May at Gulfstream, this one is a series of nice works, including some solid turf works at Saratoga that I'll refer you to our colleagues' Clocker reports to get a little more insight into, but certainly I think some promising signs.
Here's a formulator fact for the 10. Big Invasions trainer Christophe Clement having a very nice meet with his 2-year-olds. 2-year-old first-time starters, turf sprints, maiden special weights, 5 for the last 12. $3.88 return on investment. We take a look at Big Invasions pedigree card. This one is by Declaration of War and is a half-brother to a multiple stakes-placed turf sprinter. So this is a turf and synthetic family going out for a hot trainer. I don't love the post position, but this horse is somewhat interesting and might get lost in the shuffle from a wagering standpoint.
I think so. And I think this horse is certainly a candidate to pick up some pieces. I look at that pedigree and I do think, by Declaration of War, I would like him going a little bit longer. But, Declaration of War, another son of Warfront, and we mention that line all the time for its early juvenile success.
Both the 11 and 1A are entered main track only, so it's top pick time for Friday's Spa Babies. Of course, we are presented by Spendthrift. Experience counts, Nicole. The 7 Tokamak, good debut effort. I like the blinkers are coming on.
I do like the blinkers on, and I think this horse can take a step forward off that debut where he started a little slowly, particularly with the blinkers on. As I said, I would prefer this one going a little bit longer in the future, but in this sprint, which looks like kind of a level playing field with all of these first-time starters, I will say that experience counts here.
I'm looking for the break to be everything for the 2 Top Gun girls. She's not going to be able to afford a miscue breaking from the inside post. It's up to the great veteran John Velasquez to get her out of there for Wesley Ward. But I like this pedigree, especially going short on the female side. 2974 for me, 7921 for Nicole. We kick off the 50-cent pick 5 at Saratoga on Friday with Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift.